Hey, and welcome to the Citadel, map 19 of Doom 2. So this one's an interesting level. It's a non-linear level where you only really need to get 2 out of 3 of the keys to finish the level. It's fairly open, meaning you can go in any direction, and as you'll see, this is the beta version of this level. Not much really has changed between this and the final retail release, which goes to show that they had this level pretty much nailed down for what their vision was early on. The first big change that we'll notice is there isn't an arachnotron outside. On the retail release on Ultraviolence you get chased by an arachnotron, which makes this level a lot more suspenseful, but obviously nothing there means it's fairly easy. So we got to take care of these Lost Souls and Cacodemon here. The thing to remember with this level is that you are given the choice of which direction you want to go in. So you can actually go after any of the keys in any order that you choose, and there aren't many levels in Doom, at least the retail games, that let you do that. What this leads to is a fairly open level where you can sort of go in any direction that you want. Like, for example, you never have to come into this room if you really don't want to. But I'd argue it's worth it if you're pistol starting, because it does have the chain gun in it. And obviously the chain gun, very nice. We're going to take down this little pocket of monsters here. So this level has a lot of these rooms where there's a bunch of enemies inside, and there's usually ammo as the prize. You've just got to make your way through. So you know what, I'm actually going to go and get the super shotgun. So if you come to the back of the room here, this is the room that the level's pretty much centered around. In here is the red key, the blue key is just in that little window in front of us there. And pretty much everything in this level is centered around this, which means that this room is very important to clear out if possible. It is also possible to completely skip this room. You can literally just grab the red key and make a bullet for the exit. It is possible to just finish the level with one key if you are skilled enough. But in this playthrough, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play through and grab all the keys, just so you can see how that's done. But you can see the blue key there, red key's just up on that ledge there, just a bit out of sight, and the yellow key is actually in here. As you can see, there's a lot of little pockets of monsters who just can't. You just have to take them all out. So it's important to be careful in this level not to leave yourself exposed. So in order to get towards the yellow key, you've got to trigger both these doors at the right time. So you can see there's a bunch of imps in here. I'll take the scratch there just so we can get inside. So there's a little trap here with the yellow key. When we shoot the imp there, it wakes up 2 spectres who sort of run down on us. But that does mean we've got our first key of this level, which is very nice. I like to grab the yellow key early because I think that it's easier to deal with. So you can see we've been teleported to a new area of the level here. There's a bunch of pinkies here. Now, what do I think about this level? I wouldn't say this is one of my favourite levels. I think it's a very interesting idea. It's kind of like Halls of the Damned in Ultimate Doom, whereas you can go in any direction to pick up any of the keys, except in this one you don't actually need all the keys to finish the level. I still think I prefer Halls of the Damned to this though, if I'm being made to pick. So as you can see, you couldn't get the blue key from there because the game's mean, but we have to come out here. Now this is a nasty trap, especially if you haven't picked up the Berserk pack, because you're not able to punch out all these spectres here, and as you can see my health is dangerously low. So okay, I don't know if we're actually going to be able to get out of here. Okay, there's actually some peril here. Okay, can we get out? Very lucky there, was very lucky. So I'm going to try and draw all these spectres over here, then pick up this box of shotgun shells here. So the aim here is just not to get chomped on. But this level has a lot of traps, so if you like your Doom levels with traps and lots of things that will jump out and surprise you, this is the one for you, I think. In honesty, other than this floor texture out here and a few textures here, there and everywhere, there isn't really that much difference. So here's that thing we were talking about earlier. So if you get the red key, you can actually sort of squeeze between the bars. Unfortunately, for me, I don't actually have the red key yet, so what we're going to do instead, we'll just grab all this health here. There's a lot of optional enemies you can take out if you really want to. Personally, I'd rather save the ammo for the encounters we're going to face soon. But as you can see, there's a lot of health out here. There's some armor there. It's all very nicely designed out here. The only problem, like I said, I have with this level is that there's quite a few too many traps for my liking. I feel that there's an over-reliance on like making the player kind of suffer. So if we go through here, this leads to the red key. So in order to raise that platform there, you've got to shoot behind the imps. If you come into this room without any ammo, good luck. You're going to be soft locked in here. As far as I'm aware, there's no way out of this room without having at least some ammo. Now in the retail release, there's some arachnotrons down here to block you, but I'm going to guess that either that monster wasn't available or they were added in much later in the day, because there are no arachnotrons on this level, at least not in this version. But if you played the retail release of this level, you'll notice already there's not that many changes. Everything's pretty much here, which means that this level was pretty well realised in this build. Now here's another part of the level that I'm not 100% sure on. So this area is marked as a secret, but as far as I'm aware, it's the only way you can get to the blue key. So for me, it's a bit cheap to mark it as a secret. Now I'm not sure, someone in the comments will probably tell me otherwise, but I've never found a way to get to the blue key without having to come out here. So I'm just going to take down the Cacodemon. As you can see, there's yet more enemies spawning in here. There's not much point in fighting these imps. It's not like they can chase you through the level. It's not like them being alive actually does anything. It's only if you're in for the 100%. Which is fine if you are, but like I don't really bother with going for 100% unless I really have to. Especially because this isn't exactly the most thrilling encounter. Yeah, there's no ammo. So welcome to this room here. Now, these teleporters take you to various different places. And what I'll do in a second, once we've grabbed the blue key here, I'll actually show you where they all lead. So the one we took there led us to the blue key. So if you head into the top left one, you end up in that pinky trap that we saw earlier on. If you head into the bottom left one, you get sent towards the yellow key. But you'll need ammo obviously here, because otherwise this will happen. If you go into the bottom right, you end up at the red key, which is what we saw earlier on. And if you head into the middle, you actually get a rocket launcher, which brings you up in that middle courtyard area. My one complaint, I'd argue, is that hiding that teleporter thing way off in the side like that in a secret is a bit mean. But I guess that's the whole point of this level. As you can see at the end here, you don't even need the blue key or the yellow key. As long as you have a combination of the red and one other key, you'll easily be able to get out of the level. You can't even get out with just the red key because the bar's so thick. But overall for me, the Citadel it's okay. I don't really consider it one of the classic Doom 2 levels. I understand that some people really like this one, and that's good for you. But for me, it's kind of forgettable, in my opinion. But we're going to take a quick glance at the PlayStation 1 version of this level. As you can see, we open up with a Cacodemon chasing us down. So again, no Arachnotron. But if you do play the PC retail version, which I think most people have, you'll see an Arachnotron on Ultraviolence, which I don't think anyone likes Arachnotrons chasing them down when they've just got a pistol. I do think this opening is very kind of intense. So you've got all these imps and you've got all these shotgunners. You've got to get through all these guys if you want to get into the main parts of the level. So this is kind of required. And as you can see, oh wow, that Cacodemon really wasn't waiting for me there, was he? You do need to hit the switch here to get inside the main part of the level, so this is kind of essential. And as I said, there's a lot of rooms like this in this level where you'll bump into a bunch of imps or there's a bunch of monsters that you have to get through in order to get the item at the end. And yeah, I know most Doom 2 levels are like that, but in this level there seems to be a lot of concentrated enemies in specific small cramped areas. Luckily, because this level is quite generous with stim packs, we are going to grab all these. So the spectres are still all around there. As you can see, this level does retain a lot of its, you know, charm, if that's what you want to call it. So we're going to shoot you down. We're going to get rid of the lost souls there, just so I don't have to deal with them. I'm going to follow a similar route I did in my previous playthrough on this, although what I'm going to do, I don't think I'm going to go and get all 3 keys, because I do want to sort of just confirm to people watching that like you don't need all the keys to finish this level. When I play this level, I literally do the bare minimum, because if you kind of come into these rooms like this, you're just wasting a lot of ammo that doesn't really need to be wasted. Shooting the pinkies in the face. I think it's essential if you're pistol starting to come and at least grab either the chain gun or the super shotgun, because this level does have quite a lot of enemies that you have to get through. Normally when I'm playing this, I would normally not come out here and fight these guys, because the only time I would come out here is when I'm grabbing the red key, when I'm literally just running through as fast as possible. But we do want to get rid of all these Cacodemons. So I assume there's still a rocket launcher in the middle there, which would be really nice to have, but unfortunately we'd have to head out towards where the blue key is. Oh, hello. Don't know where you came from. Don't know where that lost soul popped up from there. It's a good idea to get rid of all these imps here before you head up there, just because obviously a spectre spawns in there and one spawns behind you. It just becomes a bit chaotic if you try to do too much up there. When you think about it, there are quite a lot of imps on this level, and you know, if they called it Citadel of the Imps, I wouldn't have actually complained about that, because there are a lot of these guys on this level. As you can see, more spawned in here. I'm assuming they all walked out from here, or they've all come from that door over there. I've never actually worked out where they all come from. But you can see the spectres do arrive when we shoot our gun in here. So I'm debating here whether to go for the red or the blue key. I think what we'll do, I think I'll go and show that the blue key direction isn't that different, but I won't pick up the blue key, I don't think. It is very easy to get lost on this level and to get frustrated, because there's many times when I was a kid I got frustrated trying to find the keys on this level, trying to work out how to get to them. In particular, the blue key always used to give me trouble because I could never figure out how to actually get to it. Once I figured out you could go out to that like teleporter room, it got a lot easier. This is also a room where you can get soft locked in if you're not careful. So if you come in, if you actually use all your ammo up before shooting the wall behind the imps, it is entirely possible that you can't get out of this room. So you've got to be really careful. Luckily I know there's a button there, but I'm not a fan of this room. Like I said, it's very easy to get soft locked in here, especially if you show up with no ammo. Like, you're pretty much screwed. So we've grabbed the red key there. So what I'll do, I will show off the route to the blue key, but I don't think I'm going to actually pick it up, because I think, well, because normally when I play, this is actually how I play. I'd normally grab the red and yellow keys, and then I just head for the exits. So this room has a slightly different aesthetic, but overall it serves the same function. The Cacodemon there can't actually get out of that little pocket there, which is pretty funny when you think about it. So we're gonna head in here. So you can see it's the same teleporter room. It leads to the same blue key direction. In fact, they've actually bathed this in blue, so you can kind of tell where you are. I would be interested to know if there's any other way to get to this blue key. So if anyone in the comments actually does know of like another way to get here, I'd love to hear it. But to my knowledge, like, the only way I've ever come in here was through that teleporter we just did. I'll punch you in the face. We could go and get the blue key, but we're not. I want to see if I can take on all these spectres, to be honest. So you can see, there's the central courtyard, and there's a bunch of spectres. Now, can I take these guys out without dying? Let's see. I do think this is kind of a fun trap, because a lot of people who get to this point, like, they may not have much in the way of ammo, and it's very easy to get overwhelmed by all these numbers in front of you here. Spectres are not overly difficult, but like in huge numbers like this, they can really trap you and pin you down, which is obviously not good. There's a few more over here. Let's take care of them. But overall, this is an okay level for me. I don't particularly have fond memories of it, but you know, it's here, it's not terrible, and it's one of the most open levels in Doom 2. So if that's the kind of level that you love, then this is going to be right up your street. I want to see if I can squeeze through here. I don't think it's a lot more difficult on the PlayStation because of the way that the control pad handles strafing. Nah, it's not going to happen. So it is fun though that you can't actually open these from the back. So they didn't mark the back of these for opening the doors. But overall, Citadel is one of those levels that it's there. I find it fun. It's not super memorable to me, but it's one of those levels that I respect because it tries something different, and you know, it is what it is. I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts on this one is. Do you love the Citadel? Do you hate the Citadel? And do you think it actually is better than Halls of the Damned, which I think is the closest level you can compare this to? Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.